So where are we going to undo
Rooney.
it? Krista!
Imagine flying across the world for someone you've never met in person. No guarantees, no promises, just hope, chemistry, and a leap of faith. That's exactly what Elise just did. Fans of the 90 Day universe already know Elise from 90 Day Hunt for Love. She's emotional, bold, sometimes impulsive, but always real. And now, she's back with a brand new chapter. This time, it's bigger, it's riskier, and it's happening on the other side of the world, Australia. After months of long-distance communication, late-night FaceTime calls, and building a connection through screens, Elise finally boards a plane to meet Josh in person for the first time. Think about that for a second. Different continent, different culture, different time zone, and potentially a completely different reality than what she imagined. The episode opens with Elise preparing for the trip. You can see it in her face. Excitement mixed with anxiety. Hope mixed with fear. She knows this trip could change everything. It could confirm that Josh is the man she's been building a future with. Or it could expose cracks she couldn't see through a phone screen. Long-distance relationships are complicated. You build emotional intimacy fast. You share deep conversations. But physical presence, energy, body language, those things can't be tested until you're standing face to face after what feels like the longest flight of her life. Elise finally lands in Australia, and that's where things get interesting. Josh isn't alone at the airport. He brings his friend Chris, right? Away, the dynamic shifts. Instead of a private, romantic airport reunion, it becomes a slightly awkward group meetup. Cameras are rolling, emotions are high, and Elise has barely had time to breathe. But here's where Elise shows her personality. Instead of complaining about being exhausted or frustrated that the first meeting isn't 101, she adapts. She decides to change in the airport bathroom so they can head straight out. Yes, you heard that right. After flying across the world, she's getting ready in an airport restroom, and in that moment, standing in front of a mirror under harsh fluorescent lights, she admits something very vulnerable. I just can't believe that I'm actually getting ready in a bathroom at the airport. I really just hope Josh sees how much effort I'm putting into this relationship. That line says everything. This isn't just about looking good. It's about being seen. It's about being valued. It's about wanting your sacrifice to matter. She flew across the world. She disrupted her routine. She put herself in an unfamiliar place. And now she's hoping the effort is noticed. Meanwhile, Josh seems relaxed, confident, almost casual in his own confessional. He praises Elise's attitude. He calls her a trooper. He says he likes that she's down for whatever, that she's flexible, that she's willing to roll with the plan. And on the surface, that sounds positive. But if you look deeper, it raises questions. Is he appreciating her or testing how much she tolerates? There's a subtle difference. Instead of a romantic dinner, instead of a private moment to reconnect after months apart, the first stop is a bar. And Chris is still there. Elise admits it's not the ideal date. Of course it's not. This is supposed to be the moment they finally experience each other without a screen. And instead, she's navigating third-wheel energy and social pressure still. She stays optimistic. I flew across the world to get a glimpse of his life and figure out if he's the person I want to be with. Everything seems good right now. Our connection and our chemistry, it's there. That sentence is powerful. She's not just here to have fun, she's here to evaluate, to observe, to decide. Because that's the real test of long-distance love. It's not about whether you can talk for hours online. It's about whether the chemistry survives reality. At the bar, body language becomes everything. Are they sitting close? Are they making eye contact? Is the conversation flowing naturally? Or does it feel forced? For the first few minutes, things seem smooth. There's laughter, there's teasing, there's curiosity. Josh looks proud introducing her. Elise looks relieved that the initial awkwardness didn't explode into disaster, but subtle tension lingers. Chris being there changes the intimacy level. Josh balances attention between his friend and Elise, and sometimes, when someone brings a friend to a first meeting like this, it can signal insecurity, or maybe even hesitation. Is Josh nervous? Is he trying to impress Chris? Or does he not fully realize how much pressure Elise is under? Elise, on the other hand, is hyper-aware. She knows cameras are watching. She knows fans will judge. She knows this moment could define their future, and yet, she tries to stay grounded. Because at the core of it, she genuinely likes him. The bigger question is this: does Josh feel the same intensity? So far, he seems charmed. He admires her willingness to adapt. He likes that she doesn't complain. He's attracted to her resilience. But admiration and emotional investment are not always the same thing. As the night continues, the chemistry is there, but it's fragile. Like glass that hasn't been tested yet, the real test won't be the bar. It won't be the airport. It won't even be the first night. The real test will come when routines settle in, when jet lag wears off, when real conversations happen, when disagreements surface, because that's when long-distance fantasy meets real-world compatibility, and Elise knows that. She didn't fly across the world just for Instagram photos or a fun night out. She flew to answer one question: is Josh the person she wants to build the future with? And right now, everything seems promising. But in the 90-day universe, promising rarely stays simple for long. The next morning in Australia feels different. The excitement of the airport reunion has settled. The adrenaline is gone. Now it's just Elise and Josh waking up in the same city for the first time. No screens, no buffering, no time delay. Just reality. Jet lag hits Elise hard. Her body is confused. Her emotions are overloaded. But she pushes through it because this trip is short. Every hour matters. Josh, on the other hand, seems comfortable. Almost too comfortable. He suggests grabbing coffee and showing her around. His neighborhood, it sounds sweet, casual, low pressure, but Elise is quietly analyzing everything. The way he orders, the way he greets people, the way he moves through his environment. This is what she meant when she said she flew across the world to get a glimpse of his life online. Josh was attentive, present, consistent, but in person, small details start to stand out. Does he hold her hand naturally? Does he introduce her as my girlfriend, or just Elise? Does he make her feel included in his world? At a cafe, they sit across from each other. The conversation flows at first. Travel stories, teasing about the airport bathroom moment. Josh laughs and says he thinks it was cute that she changed there. But Elise is listening carefully. Cute is not the same as appreciated. She opens up about how nervous she was, how much pressure she felt to look good after such a long flight. For a second, there's vulnerability in her voice. Josh reassures her. He says she didn't need to try so hard, that he already liked her. That line should feel comforting, but Elise pauses. If she didn't need to try so hard, why didn't he plan something more thoughtful for her arrival? This is where emotional expectations start to quietly clash. Later that afternoon, Josh takes her to meet a few more friends. Not just Chris this time, a small group, a casual hangout. Elise smiles. She's polite, engaging, but inside she's overwhelmed. Meeting one friend at the airport is one thing. Being introduced to an entire social circle on day one is something else. She wants alone time, intimate time, time to build physical comfort without an audience. In a private confessional, Elise admits something important. I just hope I'm not stepping into his life as like an accessory. I want to feel like I'm part of it, not just visiting it. That sentence hits deep, because sometimes when you enter someone's world, you realize they never fully cleared space for you in it. Josh seems proud to show her off. He compliments her personality again, calls her adaptable, says she fits in easily, but fitting in and feeling chosen are two different experiences that night. They finally get a moment alone. No friends, no noise, no outside opinions, just the two of them sitting on a balcony overlooking the city lights. This is the moment Elise has been waiting for. She asks him directly, "What do you see happening after this trip?" Josh hesitates, not dramatically, not obviously, but enough. He says he wants to see how things go. Safe answer. Careful answer. Elise nods. But internally, she feels the difference between their levels of risk. She flew across the world. He stayed home. She invested time, money, emotional energy, physical effort. He's observing that imbalance doesn't mean he doesn't care, but it does mean they're standing at different emotional heights. Josh explains that long distance is hard, that he doesn't want to rush, that he likes what they have but wants to be realistic. Elise hears realistic. Her heart hears uncertain. There's a subtle shift in her energy after that conversation. Not dramatic, not explosive. Just quieter. The next few days become a mix of sweet moments and small doubts. They explore beaches. They laugh over inside jokes from their video calls. Physical chemistry is definitely there. When they're alone, the connection feels strong, but when Josh's life intersects with theirs, Elise feels slightly outside the circle. One afternoon, Chris jokingly asks Josh if he's ready to move to America. Josh laughs it off. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Everyone laughs, except Elise doesn't fully. Because for her, this isn't just a vacation romance. This is evaluation. Is he future material? Is he emotionally available? Is he willing to match her effort? In another confessional, Josh says he likes that Elise is bold, that she's decisive, that she knows what she wants. But sometimes, when one partner knows exactly what they want and the other is still figuring it out, tension builds quietly. Elise begins to notice something else. Josh rarely initiates serious conversations. When topics get heavy, he redirects. jokes, changes subject. It's subtle avoidance, not malicious, not cruel. Just cautious. And caution can feel like distance when you've taken a leap. Toward the end of the week, Elise suggests they spend one full day without friends. No social plans, no distractions, just them. Josh agrees. They spend that day cooking together, walking along the coast, talking about childhood stories, family expectations, fears. For the first time, Josh opens up about past relationships, about being hurt, about not wanting to repeat mistakes. That vulnerability softens. Elise, she realizes his hesitation might not be lack of interest, it might be protection, and that changes everything, because now the question isn't, does he care? It's, is he brave enough to risk caring fully? On her final night in Australia, emotions rise again. Suitcases sit open. Reality approaches. Distance returns. Elise looks at him and says, I need to know this wasn't just a fun visit. Josh takes a deep breath. He says he feels something real. That seeing her in his world made it more tangible. That he's scared, but he doesn't want to lose her. It's not a dramatic declaration. It's not a proposal. It's not a promise, but it's honest. And sometimes honesty is more important than fantasy. As Elise prepares to leave, there's affection, there's emotion, there's uncertainty. The chemistry survived. The question now is whether the distance will. Because flying across the world is one thing. Building a future across it, that's something else entirely. When Elise boards the plane back home, everything feels heavier than when she arrived. The first flight was full of anticipation. This one is full of questions. She replays every moment in her head. The airport bathroom, the bar with Chris, the balcony conversation, the hesitation, the vulnerability, the almost promises. Did he lean in enough? Did she expect too much? Did they actually move forward or just experience a romantic pause in real life? Back home, reality hits fast. Time zones, return, schedules clash. The physical presence disappears. And this is where long-distance relationships either grow stronger or slowly fade. The first few days after she lands, Josh texts constantly. He checks if she got home safely. He says he misses her. He sends photos of places they visited together. It feels reassuring, but then normal. Life resumes, work, friends, responsibilities. The frequency of communication shifts, not dramatically, not overnight, but enough for Elise to notice. Instead of long FaceTime calls, there are shorter check-ins. Instead of deep late-night talks, there are quick messages. Elise tells herself not to overthink it, but she does. Because once you've stood next to someone, once you've felt their presence, once you've imagined a future in the same physical space, distance feels sharper than before. In a confessional filmed after her return, Elise admits something quietly honest. I think seeing him made everything more real. And now that I'm back home, it's like, I don't want to go back to just being pixels on a screen. That line says everything. The trip raised the emotional stakes. Meanwhile, Josh seems steady but reserved. He tells producers that he cares about Elise, that the trip confirmed their chemistry. But he also says he's still processing. Processing what? Distance, fear, or the possibility of something serious. Fans begin to notice small signs on social media. Elise posts photos from Australia with heartfelt captions about taking risks for love. Josh reposts one picture, but keeps his tone light, casual, almost playful to some viewers. It feels mismatched to others. It feels like a man who doesn't move emotionally as fast. The real turning point happens 2 weeks after Elise returns. She brings up the future again, this time over video call. She asks if he would consider visiting her next. She explains that she needs reciprocity, not just emotionally but physically. Effort has to go both ways. Josh goes quiet, not defensive, not dismissive, just quiet. He says travel is complicated with his job, that he'd need to plan carefully, that he doesn't want to promise something he can't deliver immediately. And once again, Elise hears caution, but this time it stings more, because she didn't hesitate when it was her turn. In another confessional, she reflects, I don't regret going. I needed to see him in his world, but I also need to know that I'm not the only one willing to jump. That's the core of it. Love can survive distance, but it cannot survive imbalance for long. As weeks pass, their rhythm changes again. Josh becomes more emotionally expressive. He sends voice notes instead of just texts. He opens up more about his fears of failure in relationships. He admits that seeing Elise leave scared him. That confession matters, because now, it's not about uncertainty, it's about vulnerability. He tells her he doesn't want to rush labels or time, but he also doesn't want to lose what they have. Elise listens carefully. She realizes something important. Josh isn't indifferent, he's cautious. And there's a difference between someone who doesn't care and someone who cares so much there. Afraid to move too fast? Still, caution can feel like hesitation when you're standing on the edge ready to leap again. Producers ask Elise a direct question. If he never moves, would you? She pauses. That pause is long because uprooting your life is different from booking a flight. Moving continents isn't romantic, it's permanent, and Elise is bold. But she's also learning. The biggest shift comes when Josh finally says something concrete. He tells her he's willing to plan a visit. Not someday, not maybe, but within a set time frame. It's not a proposal, it's not a visa conversation, but it's a step. And in long-distance love, steps matter. Fans remain divided. Some see red flags. They think Josh's hesitation signals deeper doubt. Others believe he's simply realistic, balancing emotion with logic. The truth probably lives somewhere in between. Elise ends this chapter with clarity. She says, "I didn't fly across the world for a fairy tale. I flew for clarity and I got it. Now it's about whether we both keep choosing this." That's the difference between infatuation and intention. The chemistry was real, the connection survived reality, but long-distance love demands equal courage, and now the spotlight shifts. The next move isn't hers, it's his. Because flying across the world once proves interest, flying back, or meeting halfway proves commitment. And in the world of 90-day relationships, commitment is where the real drama begins. Because flying across the world once proves interest, flying back or meeting halfway proves commitment. And now, the pressure is officially on Josh. For the first time since Elise returned home, the emotional weight shifts. She already took the leap. She already proved she was willing to step into his world. Now everyone, including viewers, is watching to see if he will do the same. Weeks pass. At first, nothing dramatic happens. No fights, no big blow-ups, just subtle tension. The kind that builds quietly when expectations sit unspoken for too long. Elise tries to stay patient. She doesn't want to push. She doesn't want to seem demanding. But she also refuses to shrink herself just to keep things comfortable. One night during a video call, she asks directly, "Have you looked at flights yet?" Josh exhales. That tiny reaction says more than words. He admits he has checked prices. He's thought about it. He's even talked to his boss about potential time off, but he hasn't booked anything. Not yet. Elise feels the familiar mix of understanding and frustration. She knows travel is expensive. She knows work schedules are real. But she also knows that when something truly matters, people find a way. In a confessional, she says, "I don't need perfection, I just need movement." That line becomes the theme of this stage in their relationship. Movement, not promises, not fantasies, action. Meanwhile, Josh starts facing pressure from his own circle. Chris asks him point blank if he sees a future with Elise's friends. Notice how often he's on video calls. They tease him about being basically in a relationship already. Josh doesn't deny it, but he doesn't fully claim it either. That middle ground is where tension lives. Eventually, after another emotional conversation where Elise expresses how important reciprocity is to her, Josh makes a decision. He books the ticket. Not for 6 months later, not for next year, for a specific date. When he tells Elise, her reaction isn't dramatic screaming or over-the-top tears. It's something quieter, relief, because now she knows. She wasn't the only one willing to cross oceans, but booking a ticket is just step one. As the visit approaches, reality questions start creeping in. Where will he stay? How will he fit into her daily routine? What will her friends think of him? Will he feel out of place? Long-distance relationships allow you to control what your partner sees. You present curated versions of your life now. Josh will see everything. The messy mornings, the busy workdays, the real environment, and Elise begins to feel nervous in a way she didn't expect when she went to Australia. She was stepping into his world. Now she has to open her own fully. The day Josh lands, the energy is completely different from there. First meeting, no friend waiting at the airport. No bar plans, no group distractions, just Elise. This time, she's the one waiting. When Josh walks through the arrivals gate, there's a brief second of hesitation, not doubt. Just recognition that this moment carries more weight than the last one. He hugs her tightly longer than before. This isn't curiosity anymore. This is evaluation with consequences. Over the next few days, Josh gets a full look at Elise's life. Her friends ask direct questions. Her family members are protective but polite. They want to know his intentions. One evening at dinner, someone asks him where he sees this going. The room goes quiet. Josh doesn't joke this time. He says, "I wouldn't be here if I didn't see something real." That answer matters because showing up physically is one thing. Standing firm under pressure is another. But not everything is smooth. Cultural differences appear in small ways. Communication styles clash. Elise is expressive and emotional. Josh is measured and cautious. Sometimes she wants reassurance in the moment. Sometimes he needs space to think before responding. Those differences aren't dramatic, but they are real. One night, after a minor misunderstanding about future plans, Elise breaks down privately. Not because she doubts him completely, but because she's tired of feeling like she's always the emotionally braver one. Josh notices, and this time, instead of withdrawing, he steps closer. He tells her he struggles with fear of failing at relationships, that he doesn't want to overpromise and disappoint her, that sometimes his caution is protection, not indifference. For the first time, they both admit the same truth. They're scared, not of each other, of the future. And strangely, that shared fear brings them closer as Josh's visit comes to an end. The biggest question finally surfaces: is this just a long-distance love story? Or is this becoming a 90-day decision? Visa conversations start casually, not formal, not official. Just what if discussions. Could she move? Could he? Would they consider applying for a fiancé visa someday? Nothing is decided, but something shifts. The relationship is no longer hypothetical. It has survived 2 continents, 2 visits, real-world pressure, outside opinions. Now it stands at a crossroads because in the 90-day universe there's always a point where love must choose between comfort and commitment. And as part 4 closes, one thing is clear: this is no longer about chemistry, it's about courage.